Hey everyone, it's Chris here with Zone Zero California, and I am near the intersection of Ventura Boulevard and White Oak here in the Encino neighborhood. And again, we're making these sets of videos taking you on the ground to where these very high fire hazard severity zones start, to give you guys a sense of what they look like, where these lines of demarcation are, and to figure out whether or not you might be at risk. Now, the reason why I stopped at this intersection is because this is at the very edge of basically between Tarzana and Encino. And also too, when you start heading east, southeast from here, down Ventura Boulevard, you are basically completely in the red zone, meaning both sides of Ventura Boulevard, from here to Sherman Oaks and Studio City, are completely within the very high fire hazard severity zone map. So that just goes to show you how many people are affected, how many homes, how many buildings, how many structures are going to be affected by this. Now, what does this mean for you? Well, we are raising awareness about the Zone Zero regulations. These Zone Zero regulations are going to be first enforced among people, property, homeowners inside of the very high fire hazard severity zones, and then eventually to all homes, properties, buildings, structures in California by 2028 or 2029. So we are starting to raise awareness now by putting all this information out there, showing you the neighborhoods and communities that are most affected, just to give you a sense of like, hey, you know, when you hear the term wildland urban interface, that's not like just the edge of, you know, town where the forest meets the road. Right? These are well-established communities here in Los Angeles and throughout California. So everything basically north of White Oak and east-southeast going down Ventura Boulevard from here starts to become a red on the CAL FIRE maps, considered very high fire hazard severity zones. So what does this mean when it comes to the Zone Zero regulations? What does Zone Zero refer to? It refers to the 0 to 5 feet around your home or your property, your building, your structure. And it's regarding both the building materials and the types of material that can be stored in those areas. So obviously now what you can't do is store your firewood in a pile right next to your home or within 0 to 5 feet of your home, right? And now when it comes to building materials, that's where it gets a lot more burdensome, right? It's from landscaping, fences and gates, decks, roofing, and siding. So for example, if you have a tree right next to your home that provides shade, that may be at risk of needing to be removed. Now, this has been some of the strongest pushback from the community during this whole regulatory process. I believe what you'll see is a set of state guidelines, and then counties and cities, as the jurisdictions get smaller and more local, might have rules, regulations, and ordinances of their own. We're already seeing something like that to the effect within Los Angeles, San Diego, and in Berkeley up in the Bay Area. So expect more localized solutions, I should say, right? Or problems, because again, the urban development, even between an area of Los Angeles like Encino, right, versus Hollywood, right? What do you have in Hollywood? It's more dense. It's higher up. You have more multi-unit dwellings, right? Over here, it's more suburb. You have more homes. But nevertheless, what we're going to do is take a drive around the neighborhood and point out just like how many people, homes, properties are going to be affected by this. So what is the Zone Zero regulation regarding building materials? Building materials must be Class A non-combustible. So your old redwood fences, your old cedar fences and gates, those will need to be replaced. Now, it doesn't mean you can't have any type of wood. In fact, Caillou Batu was pointed out to me by a fence contractor last week that it was approved by CAL FIRE. It is safe to use. It is approved to use for Zone Zero building. So hardwoods, for example, will be what you replace your redwoods with. So that's going to apply everything from your fences and gates to your decks, and maybe even your siding. I noticed a lot of homes in certain communities, depending on when these communities were built, they have wood siding. That may be a huge undertaking for you to replace the entire siding around your home. And again, with roofing, I've said this before, I'll say it again, because this may be the first time you're watching one of these videos. I'm not too knowledgeable about roofing right now, but as this process moves forward, as I continue to put content and resources out there for you, I'm sure I will have much more insights and information to share. Now, speaking of resources, I have two major sources of I have two major places for you to come and join the conversation. The first being our school community. It's absolutely free to join. It's a place for me to centralize and provide links to grants and things like that, put news updates, and it gives you, the viewers, people in the community, a place to come together and have conversations and share your stories. And please, I encourage you, if you've had a horrible experience, if you've dealt with insurance companies denying your renewals, state or local legislation or regulators coming in and telling you need to make changes, please share those horror stories with us. People are gonna be able to learn from you, and if it helps you feel better and get it off your chest, I won't stop you, okay? I don't want to talk politics too much on this channel, but if you want to leave a comment, if you want to leave your comments and your thoughts, if you want to leave feedback or thoughts, get things off the chest in the comment section here, I won't stop you either, okay? And of course, I have zonezerocalifornia.com. It's another website I built to provide resources, but more importantly, to help connect you with qualified contractors in your area who we're going to prioritize have been approved by the Fire Safety Council to work with, all right? So we're going to take a drive around real quick, guys. Once again, my name's Chris. I'm with Zone Zero California. Visit us at zonezerocalifornia.com and join our school community, and we'll see you in the discussion there, or maybe in the comments. Thanks. All right, got my seatbelt on. Let's take a drive around the block here in this neighborhood real quick. Once again, I'm on White Oak and Ventura Boulevard. We're going to drive up White Oak and into the neighborhood here. I don't mean to isolate, chastise, admonish anyone in particular. I do this just as an example to show just how many homes are affected, and how many people this stuff is going to affect. So, all right, we're just going to turn off this main street here, but look, right over my shoulder, you can see all of these homes, right, with all of this privacy foliage, right? All of this arbory. Like, are all of these trees, privacy hedges, and things like that going to need to be removed or replaced? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, so let's see. Are these gated communities? Yeah. See, there's a lot of these neighborhoods here. Sometimes they're real private. So we're just going to turn down this street right here. We're just going to take one quick drive down this street. Okay. So over my shoulder here, you'll see this house has stucco and brick. Same thing over here. They had siding, but it could be hardy board. Okay. So this house right here, if you look at the garage, and it has that vertical striped siding, I believe that is wood. Okay, and I'm going to turn the camera around here, and this house is being renovated, but look above the garage and look at the siding there. All right. Oh, and this house next to it, you can see that vertical striped siding. I believe that's wood. I believe that's wood. So, you know, that might, if you have that style of home and that's not hardy board, you know, that might need to be replaced. So let's see if we can find any old wood gates or fences here. We'll just take another few minutes to drive around these few blocks. A lot of these communities, again, you know, they are a little bit more affluent. They're going to have a little bit more private security, neighborhood watch signs up as well. So, and they also maybe have benefited from more recent renovations, you know, like I started a little bit further away from Los Angeles proper. Oh, look at this. See that vertical striping? I'm not sure if that's hardy board or not. Correct me in the comments, but I think that's wood. Oh, this one too, right here. This vertical striping here on this house. I realize sometimes it's hard to tell with the GoPro because of the curvature of the lens. You know, it makes things seem really far away, so it might be harder to distinguish on your screen. Let's just see here. You know, of course, some neighborhoods, some blocks are going to be, I guess you could say, more compliant than others. Just off the bat, you know, I'm just improvising this. Again, I just wanted to get out there and start making content and sharing with it. Yeah, see, this is a much newer house right here, and I wonder what this siding is made of. Somebody tell me in the comment section. So that's a modern house. Oh, this house has the more vertical, old school striping. See right here. So that might be, again, referring to the style. There's a house here being renovated. I don't know if you can see it behind me. you know, not even renovated. It's like a total remodel. So, you know, this might be a little bit more modernized neighborhood. I don't plan these things ahead of time, but I'm usually able to kind of just, you know, find something off the bat. So let's just maybe take a little bit of a drive, a little bit further into the neighborhood here. Oh, I see a house on the corner. I'm going to turn at that one. Again, it's got this, like, I don't know if this is 1970s, 1980s. If you know, put it in the comments section. But this, like, vertical siding where it's got these, like, 2x2s every 12 feet or so. Put my blinker on. Drive safe around here. So you tell me, look at this house. You know, I'm pretty sure that's wood. So yeah, a lot of modern homes here. This is, you know, I think we're like close enough to LA now where like you're gonna get a lot more modern stuff. But hey, listen, Studio City, you know, we'll go there next. Oh, here's an older house. It's got, look at this. This is an old wood fence. Here we go. Oh yeah, with that vertical siding on the detached garage there. Oh, here we go. Here's an old wood fence. Right there. That's an old wood fence and gate. I don't know if you could see that, but you know, that fence ran along and then angled back to the house and abutted the house, and that's definitely a zone 0 right there. So I don't want to get too lost in the hills here. Hidden Oaks Road. I'm gonna hit Sherman Oaks next, guys. If you're watching this, thank you. Again, if you have any questions, join our school community. If you want to contribute to the conversation, we'd love to have you over there. And if you want to be put in touch with qualified contractors in your area, just go to zone0california.com and get in touch with us there. Thank you.